Hello everyone, we are Group 5. Today, we would like to discuss the tension between instant entertainment and the loss of happiness from a contemporary philosophical perspective. Based on the 8 core concepts from our course, we will use this presentation to explain why modern people often feel less happy even though entertainment is everywhere, and how happiness can be rebuilt in today's society. In our daily lives, short videos, mobile games, and instant digital content are always within reach. Pleasure seems easy to obtain, yet many people feel increasingly empty and dissatisfied. This contradiction is not accidental. It reflects deeper philosophical, cultural, and social problems that shape how we understand happiness. To begin, we look at the local Malaysian concept of well-being known as sejahtera. Sejahtera does not define happiness as simple enjoyment or pleasure. Instead, it emphasizes harmony among the body, mind, spirit, and intellect. It represents holistic human development and balance. This idea reminds us that long-term happiness requires more than momentary satisfaction. However, in reality, people today spend several hours each day on short videos and mobile games. Entertainment has become faster and more convenient, but happiness indicators continue to decline. The core reason is that instant entertainment focuses almost entirely on sensory stimulation, while ignoring the balance that sejahtera emphasizes. To understand this imbalance more clearly, we must ask a fundamental philosophical question: what is happiness? Western and Eastern philosophical traditions have explored this question for centuries. Plato distinguished between rational happiness and sensory pleasure. Aristotle proposed the concept of eudaimonia, arguing that happiness is a life of virtue, meaningful action, and long-term flourishing rather than temporary enjoyment. Epicurus emphasized inner peace and freedom from anxiety, while Stoic philosophers taught self-control and rational discipline. Eastern philosophy offers similar insights. Wang Yangming's idea of the unity of knowledge and action reminds us that understanding what is good is meaningless without practice. Knowing that excessive entertainment is harmful does not change anything unless behavior also changes. These philosophical traditions all point to the same conclusion: instant entertainment provides surface pleasure, while genuine happiness requires balance, reflection, and sustained effort. When we turn to contemporary society, the effects of instant entertainment become even more visible. Many people now define their self-worth through online metrics such as likes, views, and followers. Social media encourages constant comparison, making individuals feel inadequate when they see carefully curated images of others' success. As sociologist Irving Goffman suggested, social interaction increasingly becomes a performance, where people present idealized versions of themselves. As a result, online validation replaces real human connection. People may receive attention on screens but feel lonely in real life. This weakens self-identity and damages social relationships, directly reducing happiness. At a deeper level, instant entertainment creates an imbalance between sensory experience and rational reflection. Human cognition requires both perception and thinking, but constant stimulation reduces the need to reflect. Over time, people become less patient, less focused, and less capable of asking meaningful questions about their lives. This condition can be described as cognitive erosion, where rational thought is gradually replaced by passive consumption. From a logical perspective, a major mistake lies in confusing pleasure with happiness. Pleasure is immediate and temporary, while happiness is long-term and meaningful. When people pursue pleasure as an end in itself, they often experience the paradox of hedonism. The more they chase enjoyment, the less satisfied they feel. Philosopher Immanuel Kant argued that true freedom comes from rational self-control rather than obedience to impulses. Instant entertainment trains impulsive behavior, making self-control increasingly difficult. This problem also affects our relationship with the body, the mind, and nature. Philosophical traditions have long emphasized that humans are unified beings, not separate fragments. However, excessive screen use encourages physical inactivity and mental emptiness. At the same time, people become disconnected from nature, even though human well-being depends on a harmonious relationship with the natural world. When the body, mind, and environment fall out of balance, happiness loses its foundation. To understand why instant entertainment is so powerful, we must examine the role of technology and ideology. Martin Heidegger argued that technology is not neutral, it shapes how humans relate to the world. The Frankfurt School similarly criticized the culture industry, where entertainment is mass-produced for profit. Algorithms transform attention into a commodity, continuously pushing content designed to maximize engagement rather than well-being. Under these conditions, individuals shift from active meaning makers to passive consumers. Entertainment no longer serves as relaxation, but becomes a dominant force that shapes beliefs about happiness. This leads to a distorted understanding of what it means to live a good life. Finally, rebuilding happiness requires a decolonized perspective. Cognitive erosion is closely connected to the dominance of consumerist values that weaken local cultural understandings of well-being. Reclaiming happiness means restoring the ability to define it independently. Local practices such as Silat martial arts, batik craftsmanship, community gatherings, and reconnecting with nature encourage focus, embodiment, and social connection. These practices align with the Sagittarius concept and offer practical alternatives to entertainment-driven lifestyles. In conclusion, instant entertainment is not the enemy. It can be a useful form of relaxation, but it should not dominate life. True happiness is found in balance, meaning, rational reflection, and local cultural values. As Aristotle once said, we become what we repeatedly do. The next time we reach for our phones, we should ask ourselves whether we are merely passing time or actively building happiness. Thank you.